a mother was trying to wake up her son. It's time. You got to go to school. Hurry up. And her son was trying to cover himself with a blanket. All the time saying, "Nope, not today." And the mother said, "Give me one reason." And he says, "Mom, I'll give you 3 from underneath the blanket. I don't like school. The teachers don't like me. And today I'm tired." And the mother said, "Well, I'll give you 3 reasons why you need to go to school. You are 40 years old. It's your job to go to school, and you are the principal." And so there is that voice always whispering to us, inspiring us, challenging us, and sometimes confronting us, but always with us. A voice that speaks for us, a voice that defends us, a voice that sometimes tells you how to go in life. And that's what the readings of the day are about. I know that I'm speaking of a mother, her role in life. That can be said also of the Holy Spirit, the Paraclete. I love the readings of the day, all 3 of them. And the gospel in particular comes filled with promises that Jesus makes to you and to me. Let's take just 3 of them. "I will ask my Father, and he will give you another advocate." A promise that will be fulfilled in the feast that we celebrate, the Pentecost. And during the vigil, some of us were here in person, others were with us online, and still others were present in spirit. We confirmed a number of adults, and what a joy it was. It was a moment of pride for me too, as well as one of you, and also as your pastor. And a couple of days later, we had 26 youngsters, women and young men confirmed. Notice how that promise of Christ is fulfilled in the feast we celebrate, the Pentecost. And then Christ goes on to say, "I will not leave you orphans. I will come back to you." A promise that is realized at the moment of our death. Maybe at the end of the world, some might say. But I believe that promise is fulfilled every day at the Eucharistic table. Talk to our children of the CGS, children that are 4 or 5, and they'll tell you the meaning of the word epiklesis. When the presider raises his hands over the bread and wine and invokes the Holy Spirit, epiklesis, bread and wine are transformed into the body and the blood of Christ. And Christ is with us. A promise that is fulfilled day after day after day. And look at the third one. 3 times Jesus says. 3 times is charm, right? I am in the Father is in me, I am in you, you are in me, and we will come and remain in you. We'll dwell in your heart. We'll make our home in you. The Gospel of St. John can be summed up in one word: indwelling. God is not out there. God is not just in our midst. God is not merely by our side. God is in you. God is in me. And believe me, a word of caution, God is in your neighbor too. So be careful of how you treat your neighbor, however obnoxious they may be. I'm kidding here. And that is the third promise that is being fulfilled in the gospel. And so the Spirit comes to create. It comes to inspire. She comes to guide. And the Holy Spirit also comes to confront us, to challenge us, to coax us, to convince us. And oftentimes, the Holy Spirit is represented with a red color. He comes to cleanse, to purify, to purge us. Look at it against the backdrop of our Diocese of Oakland declaring bankruptcy, chapter 11, for protection of clergy sexual abuse victims. So nobody is left out, that all are treated equally, that we are able to handle the case in one court, in one room, all of them as one party, and everybody gets a bit of compensation. At the end of the day, money doesn't make up for the abuse, but it is something, at least some justice is done and reconciliation is made. It is also a protection for the diocese so that she could continue her work of evangelization and charity. Look at the Holy Spirit against the backdrop of this bankruptcy. The Spirit is here to cleanse, to bring out the skeletons from the closets. The Holy Spirit is with us. He is here to purify, to purgate, and to make us start again. And as a church, we have to take the responsibility, and that's what the diocese is doing. And in the process, we need to be transparent. And believe me, the bankruptcy process is more transparent than it can many other processes. And look at also what happens to us as a diocese. On the 9th of May, the bishop called together the clergy and communicated to us the findings of 2 years of study, mission alignment project. And if the pandemic has taught us one thing, or one more thing, I believe it is this, that life just doesn't go on as it has. And ministries also cannot be continued as we have been doing in the past. And so, churches are being closed. Parishes are being merged. And some parishes are being twined or clustered, meaning they will continue to be independent, but with a common leadership, sharing resources. And our parish falls under the last category. St. Mary's of Walnut Creek is being clustered, twined with St. John Viannney. The process of bankruptcy might hurt many of us, and rightly so. I hurt with you. Let me know if we can have a conversation. I can listen to you. And even against this backdrop of going forward with this clustering, merging, and closing of parishes, believe me, the Spirit is in our midst. At the end of the day, it is God's church. Christ has founded his church, built his church on rock. Not just Peter, but it is Christ himself. And I believe that Spirit is with us, alive and active. And I know how the story always ends, always in the resurrection. That is my hope. And that is what I want you and me and us to keep our eyes on. All will be well, all will be well, and all manner of things will be well. But at the moment, we have to do what we have to do. Cleanse the house and let the Spirit of God purge us, purify us, purgate us. And as the institutional church, and as I speak that as a man of the cloth, as part of the institution, we need to take the accountability for it, responsibility for it, and in the process be transparent to the best of our ability. But we are a people of hope. We believe with the risen Christ. We believe that Christ is in our midst and the Holy Spirit dwells in our hearts. And all will be well, all will be well, and all manner of things will be well because this is Christ's church built on a solid foundation, on rock, on Himself. And so, what do we know? That the Spirit is with us. What do we feel? Hope. And what do we do about it? Trust and do the hard work, however painful it may be, knowing that all will be well, and all manner of things will be well, not because of smart management techniques, or not because of the intellect of some people that are assisting us, but because the Spirit is guiding us and leading us on. Our God, who led us cloud by day and a flame by night, is here today probably as a pillar of fire, burning, purgating, cleansing. Let's allow ourselves to be led by the Lord, and let's submit ourselves to His will. I say this as one of you, and I also say this as your pastor. All will be well, all will be well, and all manner of things will be well because this is God's church and the Holy Spirit is alive and active.